I don't know why I'm still red on here, y'all. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, Royal Family. Good to see everyone. Oh, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in, New Destiny. Welcome in, family. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get started, family. Okay, because the cover up is struggling harder than the truth ever did. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. The cover up is struggling harder than the truth ever did. Okay, welcome in, Bryce, New Destiny. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Okay, so we're gonna talk about some real stuff today, y'all. Okay, because when a lie needs protection, it's already falling apart. All right, so we're gonna get into this word. And I kind of wanted to reference the story of Saul, of King Saul and David. Because y'all remember Saul, he was king of Israel. And he started looking at David, and David had defeated Goliath. And King Saul started looking at him in a way, I mean, he was chasing, he basically was trying to pursue Saul, and it was all because it was something internally going on with himself. He was insecure within, so he basically had an eye on Saul. Had an eye on David. And David had never did anything to Saul. He wasn't chasing him, he wasn't attacking him. Okay? But David wasn't trying to take Saul's throne. But again, Saul was feeling some sort of way because he was insecure within himself. Okay, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read. This is 1 Samuel 18, verse 8. It says, "And Saul eyed David from that day and forward." Okay, so Saul became consumed with protecting a position he was already losing. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. So envy changes how people see you. They start measuring instead of appreciating. They become threatened by growth. They assign motives you never had. Okay, you have people that will envy you and feel some sort of way towards you when you have never done anything to them, but they got a problem with you. They got something going on internally. They have something they haven't healed, but they feeling some sort of way towards you, so they pursue you. They try to come for you or send people after you, right? And so and they create stories to justify their behavior as to why they coming after you. They begin fighting battles that you never started. A lot of times you don't even know people and they coming for you because they got a problem with you, an invisible problem with you that you're not even aware of. Okay, so I just want to give some real life examples. Family members suddenly acting strange when you begin growing. They see that you growing, and when you start coming around, it's like everybody on mute. They don't have much to say to you anymore. Friends becoming distant when things start working for you. Next thing you get a new whip, a new car, new house. Your friends are nowhere to be found. And you like, dang, I just wanted to share this with y'all. I want to show y'all my new place, but nobody's around. People true colors, they true intentions start to come forward. Okay, another example is your coworker becomes competitive when you were never competing with them from the beginning, but all of a sudden they competing with you. Again, because a lot of times your light, it reflects onto other people, and they start to have issues with themselves internally. They start battling. Okay, and sometimes people create an enemy because they can't manage their envy. They can't manage the envy that they have towards you, so then you become a threat, you become an enemy, and they want to target you. So this is Proverbs 28, verse 13. It says, "He that covereth his sins shall not prosper." I'm going to read that again. "He that covereth his sins shall not prosper." Okay, so the cover up became heavier than the mistake. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Y'all be sure to hit that like button and share out the live when y'all come in, family. Good to see everyone. Okay, so one lie requires another lie. Okay, one excuse requires another excuse. One deception requires more deception. It's never ending, and eventually people start forgetting what version they told, right? Because they need a cover up for the cover up. And I just want to give an example of this. If y'all see me looking over, y'all, I'm reading my notes here on the screen. Okay, so constantly changing stories. Okay, people constantly changing stories. Contradictions are piling up. Defensiveness increases. Spending more time protecting an image than fixing the issue. Okay, and at some point, the maintenance, it becomes exhausting when people are constantly lying on you, when people are constantly digging holes, digging pits. It becomes exhausting because they got to keep up with the lies that they've made, with the lies that they told. Okay, and it's real. And like I said, jealousy, envy, it's real out here, y'all. It's real. It could be people close to you, family, friends. It don't matter. A lot of times when people see the light on you, they tend to become envious of you. So you got to keep your circle small, or look, not have a circle at all, and just you have the Most High as your source, as the one you go to. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Okay, so this is Numbers 32 verse 23. It says, be sure your sin will find you out. Okay, be sure your sin will find you out. So just know truth does have patience. It has patience. Sometimes you may be wanting the truth to come out. You be wanting people around you that did you dirty. You want that exposure to come. You want that light to hit them. But it's coming. You got to be patient. You got to know that God is working it all out for your glory, for his glory. Okay. And that's just it. The seams that I'm telling you, the light is coming. Everything's being exposed. Okay. The light is shining down on these people that have come up against you. Okay. Ain't nowhere to go. Ain't nowhere to hide. But understand this, the truth doesn't rush. The truth doesn't panic. Okay? Truth doesn't need help. It don't need help. Truth survives scrutiny. T Loudbone says, I stay by myself. People who don't know me can't stand me for no reason. Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like, that's how we tend to be. Like, we just to ourselves, and you find peace with being by yourself. You know how to make yourself laugh, giggle, you know how to entertain yourself, but a lot of times people that are insecure, like, they have to be in big crowds. They got to be in large crowds, because a lot of times, what does that do? It helps cover up the truth about who they really are. It helps them to hide things about themselves, whether it be insecurities or accountability. If you got a large group of people, it's easy to hide that. So a lot of times people hide behind crowds. They hide behind groups of friends. But a lot of times the chosen ones, we walk alone. We walk by ourselves, and we okay with that. But that's another reason why they don't like you, because you are able to stand by yourself. You able to be alone, and you okay with it. You're not calling people up begging, to hang out. You are fine with just being alone. Okay. So, so what do you do while waiting for the truth? Okay. What do you do while you waiting for the truth? What do I do while they're getting away with it? This is a question you have to ask yourself, or some of y'all have been asking yourself. What do you do while they getting away with it? Because a lot of times what happens, they done did you so dirty, and it's like they happy because they feel like you at a low place now. And so they feel like they feel like the mission is accomplished. So they go out, they gather together, people that know that they don't like each other, but they all got one common denominator. Let's just be real, y'all. They all got one common denominator, and that's you. And so they hanging out together. You getting stuff coming back to you. You like, oh yeah, they was all together. You like, so they don't even like each other, but they got something in common, which is you. They don't like you. So whatever they got to do to try to ruffle your feathers, people do it. Because unfortunately, misery loves company. Some people don't have anything better to do. T Loudbone says, I used to be sad. I pray for them and try not to be upset about it. Yeah, you have to pray. You get to a point, because I used to be like that. I used to be hurt, sad, angry. I had so many emotions I was going through. I was ready to go pull up on them. But I'm telling you, it's a progression. It takes time. Like, I had to pray. I had to keep praying, because it was times I would just talk to myself and just in my mind be thinking like what I could do or what I can say, when the time comes when I see them. But after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this to you, God, because it started to become heavy. It was a heavy weight on me. It was a heavy burden, and I had to let it go because it was like consuming my mind, And I got to that point where I was like, I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be angry towards these people. I want to be happy. I want to have forgiveness, but I had to be honest with myself, because I was like, I'm just not there right now. I don't want to forgive them right now. I'm angry, but I asked God to soften my heart, and take, them thoughts out of my head. Hold on one second, y'all. Can y'all turn that down? But yeah, and it came to a point where it didn't bother me no more. Like when I hear stuff about them or whatever, I'm happy for them. Like I wish them the best. And that's what you have to do. You got to pray, pray for people, pray for your enemies, and the Bible tells you that you got to pray for people that come up against you. Because a lot of times they got struggles that they dealing with internally, and they may not have anybody to correct them or someone to tell them, like, you got to reflect on yourself, or sometimes they pride, their ego blocks it to where they won't take that correction, but sometimes that's where, like I say, you have to leave it to the Most High and allow him to correct them, because he ain't no heavy hitter like him. T-Bone, T Loudbone, okay, OMG, yes. Mediate, stay focused on me and God. Yeah, you have to. It's like you can't focus on the enemy and what the enemy is doing. You got to stay focused on God. You have to stay focused on the source and what he's doing for you, because that's the thing. The enemy is constantly trying to distract you, from the source, from your mission, because you on an assignment. You are on an assignment for the Most High, but the enemy will do whatever he can to distract you. If he got to send people your way, if he got to send somebody to distract you, that's what he going to do. If you allow it, that's what he's going to do. Send people to break your heart, send people to devalue you, to mistreat you, to underestimate you. But once you get built up enough within the Most High, ain't nothing gonna be able to shake you. And the Most High has allowed it because he already know you one of his. So he like, go ahead. That's one of mine. I already know what they built of. I already know. The Most High already know what you built of. He know what you made of. But it took us time to figure that part out. Let me read these comments. Thank you for the follow, Malin. Thank you, Miss Nada Andrews, for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you for reposting, But yeah, the creator already knows what you built of. And it's like now things happen and it's like you're not even shaken by it anymore. You are not even bothered by it. And even your reactions, it's like when you hear things about people, your enemies, because again, we know the times that we living in, y'all, like judgment is here and God is vindicating you. He is vindicating you in the midst of your enemies. And again, we don't wish, you get to the point where you don't wish harm against these people. You just wish they leave you alone, and you hope and pray that one day they see Jaguru. You hope and pray that they see themselves, but that they find God. You pray that they find the Most High, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, and over time, after a while, you kind of feel bad for people because you're like, dang, but you have to pray that they find the Most High, that they find God, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And you realize, once you get to that spiritual maturity, You realize these people were doing this because they were suffering internally. They had some things that they needed to work on, that they needed to reflect on within themselves. But instead, they chose to project it onto you. You know, they decided to take it out on you because they was like, oh, you're not gonna be better, you're not gonna be greater than me, so I'm gonna make you feel less than. I'm gonna make you feel lower. Okay, so that they can rise up above you. But the Most High said, no, time out. Time out. This is your time. You about to shine. Because everybody didn't tried everything they can. They didn't ran out of stuff. Their bags is empty. Their bags is empty now, y'all. Their bags are empty. Okay, game is over. Jaguru says, a part of my testimony, we prayed and now I have 2 jobs. Praise God all day. Thank you. Congratulations, Jaguru. That's what I'm talking about. Look, now I know who to come to. Congrats, Jaguru. All praises to the Most High. Okay, so we were saying, what do you do while you waiting for the truth, right? What do you do while you waiting for the truth? What do I do while they getting away with it? Okay, this is Psalms 37 verse 7. It says, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. That's what you do. You rest in the Lord, meaning meditate on that word. Stay prayed up. Okay, your assignment, it's not obsession. You don't have to go chasing these people down. You stop monitoring people. You know, stop checking their pages. Stop. I'm just being honest. You know, you have to let them go. Stop. You got to stop chasing validation. You have to let these people go. Stop trying to force exposure because it's going to come. Okay, it's going to come to them. All right. It's just a matter of time. You have to stop carrying what Yah never assigned you. He didn't assign you that. You have to let it go because it's going to take a burden off of your shoulders. I'm telling you, because I used to walk around with a heavy weight on me. You know, I used to be so mad and so angry because I'm like, how do these people just get away with the way they treat me? You know, and it used to be hurtful. It was painful because it's like you do good to people, you know, and you expect people to do good to you. But that's not always the case. Like Psalms 35 tells you, you know, they hate you without cause. You ain't did nothing to these people. You know, when they were sick, when they were down, you took care of them. You know, but when it came to you, they treated you like crap. Yeah. True. Thank you for the follow, T Loudbone. I appreciate it. Okay, so an example of this, constantly checking if they've changed. A lot of times, you know, you could be checking to see if somebody has changed. You have to let it go and give it to God. Okay, wondering if they got caught. Wondering if they got caught, right? Waiting for an apology. You have to let it go. You have to, again, you got to give it to God. Stop waiting around for these people to change. Stop waiting for an apology because a lot of times you're not going to get an apology. You're not going to get an apology. You know, a lot of times people just want to, you know, get you a gift and come around and brush it all under the rug. But, you know, when you see that people are like that, you have to move accordingly. You know, you got to take it for what it is, although it's painful, although you may want you may want to, I'm looking for a word, y'all, and I just lost it. T Loudmon says they sure don't apologize. No, they don't apologize because it's pride. And deep down, they know they did you wrong. They know that you waiting for that apology. So they going to hold on to it even tighter. They're like, oh, you really ain't finna get this apology. Because as long as they know it bothers you, it gets under your skin, then yeah, they going to keep holding on to it. But a lot of these people is pride. They consume with pride and ego. So it won't allow them to take accountability. It won't allow them to self-reflect. You know? So your healing, it can't depend on their accountability. It can't. You know, I know it may have taken time for you to realize that, you know, because you like, okay, they gonna get out here, and people gonna come across them and they gonna learn, but again, that takes time. That takes time. You have to do the healing within yourself so that you can move forward because God has an assignment on your life. you know. So you have to let go of people, like give it to God and let them go. Let him deal with them. Because I know, again, it's painful when you're going through it, and especially if they keep trying to cross you and they prideful with it too. That's the most painful of them all. You know, especially if it's somebody close to you, especially if it's blood, you know. Prophet Jonathan says, don't rekindle is what you was trying to say. Yes. Thank you, Prophet John. That's what I was trying to say. I'm just drinking some lemonade, y'all. I was trying to eat some lunch before I got on live, but I just had a few fries, and yeah. So if you see me like gasping for air or whatnot, my mouth a little dry, so bear with me, y'all. T Loudbone says, I wanted God to destroy them. Yes. I've changed so much now. God has fixed my heart. Yes. Ooh, you not lying, T-Bone. We being honest today, right? and that even takes a lot, to be honest, you know, to be honest with yourself. Cause yes, I've been there. I know what you feeling, T Loudbone, cause you just being honest, you know. And that's the thing. A lot of times people be like, no, I was never mad. Like, be honest, you know, cause that's where the healing starts. But, yeah, you know, you be wanting them to be completely destroyed. You know, you be having some wild thoughts in your head. But again, God has changed your heart, and I'm telling you, he can do it. He can do it. He did it for me. He could do it. Whoa, mule. Glory to the Most High. We often confuse forgiveness with reconciliation. Yes, yes, Queen Bahama. I hope y'all were able to hear me, because my phone was ringing, so it might have shut y'all off for a minute. But yeah, you know, that's the thing. That doesn't mean that you have to reconcile a relationship with somebody just because you forgive them, you know, because it's people that didn't cross lines that shouldn't have been crossed. And a lot of times you have to cut them off. You know, you got to love them at a distance, because, you know, it's not saying that you hate them. It's not saying that you don't forgive them. But a lot of times you have to just let people be, and you got to move on. And a lot of times that can be hard, because it could be people that's close to you. It could be blood, you know, and it's painful. It's very painful. But, you know, a lot of times that's what gives you peace. When you learn to love them at a distance, it gives you peace, because now you no longer have to go back and forth with them, or they decide to say something to make you feel some sort of way, and then you just going right back to square one where you were in your feelings and emotions. And a lot of times that's what people like to do. They like to see you hurt, right? Okay, so Dia, welcome in, y'all, welcome in. Yes. Forgive but no access. Yes, forgive but give no access. Exactly. You got to forgive them and don't give them access, because everybody don't deserve access to you. You know, and a lot of times these people have showed you who they truly are. They start showing you who they truly are through their actions. And you know, you'll be sitting there thinking like, dang, I thought we was cool, but every time I talk to them, they got these little slick remarks they saying, and that's just exposure. God is exposing them so you could see people for who they truly are, so you could see their hearts. He got to expose this to you. Thank you for the follow, MH. The past is over. My new beginning. Focusing on myself for the better. Success, respect, loyal. Yes. Yes, you definitely, you got to focus on yourself. You got to do that. You know, we do that internal work so that we can prosper. Because that's the thing. A lot of times we can be attached to people that just want to drain your energy. You know, they want to drain everything out of you so that you have nothing left. And God is aware of that. Don't think that God is not aware of how people have done you dirty. Don't think that he's not aware of these energy vampires out here. Because a lot of them, they need attention from you. A lot of them need your energy. Okay. The aura that you have, just being in your presence, it gives them life. It gives them oxygen. You got to know that. You got to know who you are. Okay. And that's why God he's allowing this exposure. Okay. He's bringing back, because he wants you to remember who you are. He needs you to remember who you are, because there's an assignment on your life. You got to go get the rest of them out. Okay? Because with your testimony, with your assignment, it comes rescue. It comes release for other people that's going through the same things you've gone through. And they see that you out of it. It's like, dang, like for real? Like you telling me God can rescue me too? Okay, see you, Jaguru. Mel says, oh, God just removed a warlock from my life. He kept trying to tear me down. Yeah, that's what they do. They literally will try to tear you down, to shred you to pieces. Okay. Emotionally, verbally, physically, they will try to tear you down. Okay. And the only one that can get you out of that is God. God is the only one that can do it for you. Your family can't do it for you. You know, all they can do is direct you to the source, you know, but a lot of times it's people, like I said, people even in your family, you realize that they weren't for you. They've never been for you. They've been giving you ungodly counsel, you know? And it's crazy how I know y'all probably been hearing about a lot of these Disney movies, how even the truth with a lot of these Disney movies, you know, it's coming out. How I think it was in Untangled, how I think it was the mother, she kept the daughter inside the house all the time. She never wanted her to come out, you know. She never wanted her to realize who she was, because she was feeding off of her energy. Yeah, now it's a different story. Dre says, where you get that pretty furniture? You know what, I had this furniture some years and years ago. Honestly, I can't even remember. I think I want to say it was here when I moved. When I moved in this house, the people, they didn't want it. It was like really old to them, and it was brown. And I ended up spraying it black because like I'm into home decor and stuff. And I was like, because at first I was gonna throw it away, but it was so heavy. I'm like, but I ended up spraying it black and gold, as you can see. And I was like, I'm gonna make something out of this. So here it is. Alignment, not attachment. Have found whatever draws you away from your spirit assignment is not of Yep, exactly. Alignment. Yes. Alignment. Yep, that's what it's all about. It's alignment, you know, and anything that's pulling you away from the source, that's a problem. That's a distraction. You know? Prophet Jonathan says, I cried for months, but I still push myself to move on. 90% of my old friends are gone. I know. I'm sorry to hear that, Prophet, but you know what? It made you better. It made you stronger. It, you know, and I'm sure when you were going through it, it didn't feel too good. You know, it didn't feel too good because you thinking like, dang, these people I grew up with, you know, probably people you went to school with, probably people you was running around in diapers with, you know, and now they gone. You like, I thought we was gonna be together to death, you know, but no, like sometimes it's not what we think. Life it doesn't always go the way we expect it to, right? Because at the end of the day, God is the one that's directing our footsteps. And a lot of times he will strip us of everything, you know, relationships, family, everything. Melly says, yes, they want to dim your light so bad. It's exhausting. It is. Melly, it is. You ain't said, look, I'm telling you telling the truth, baby, because it can be very exhausting, very extremely exhausting, you know, when they don't give up. Because they like relentless. They don't stop, you know, because they on an assignment. The same way, I'm sorry, y'all. The same way we on an assignment, they on an assignment to take you out, you know, and we trying to get to, I mean, we are in the assignment, but we're trying to get to the goal, you know, that's our goal, is to get to it. But they trying to distract you because they know through your obedience, it comes favor, comes blessings. They know that. So they doing whatever they can. And yes, it can be extremely exhausting. It ain't no joke. You know, that's why you got to stay prayed up and meditate on this word. Because God, he will strengthen you. He will be your strength. Traditional Healing Home says, sending you positive energy that brings more peace, love, and strength to your heart. Thank you, Traditional Healing Home. Blessings, love. Thank you for the follow, daughter of Yah. Uh-oh. Black and gold, I can hear you now. Oh, okay. I hope y'all can hear me. Betrayal sometimes is part of the process. Yep, it is. Look, and I didn't know that. I think a lot of us found out the hard way, right? Because it's like I heard stories coming up, but it's like, dang, not this deep. I feel like we are taking, when we said yes to the Most High, like it became a sacrifice, because you had to say no to a lot of things. Like once you said yes, it's like, and even look, I say even before you said yes, because he already knew who you were before you were even born into this realm. Before you came out the womb, he already knew who you were. So there's always been an assignment on your life, regardless. So it's like the enemy, he ain't stopped. He ain't back down. He not going to stop until God put him in his place. That's what's going to have to happen. For real. We about to see some things shift. We already seeing things shift, but we about to see some things we've never seen before, Hey, dearest Jim. Good to see you, love. D says, take it all just to rebuild. Yep. Yes. But you know what? When he does rebuild it, it's greater than ever. It's gonna be better than you've ever had, because it's built on God. The foundation is God, so ain't nothing gonna be able to break it. Ain't no winds. I'm telling you, ain't nothing gonna be able to shake it. Look at what he did with Job and Noah. Yeah. Yes. Have to stand 10 toes down on firm boundaries, and yes, stay prayed up. Yes, you got to be firm with them boundaries. You can't be in slipper mode, because the devil waiting. The devil is waiting, okay, like a roaring lion to try to get us slipping up, and the devil be like, oh, you want to slip up, and have you reinforce them boundaries once again that you want to be slippery with. For real. Hey, subscription to success, welcome in. Thank you for the repost of The Sword That Divides. Thank you. Okay, you can hear. Cool. I'm just reading through the comments, y'all. The Sword That Divides says, I'm done learning the hard way. I know, right? You get to the point where you like, you know what? I'm done trying to do this my way. Like, I surrender, God. You put your hands up. You like, I'm done. I'm done. Because you get tired. It gets to a point where you get tired of everybody coming up against you. And you realize, like, I'm alone. You realize, like, dang, I'm alone. Like, because you realize, like, why is everybody coming against me? Like, everybody's coming against me, and I think that's when we all got that epiphany, like something's not right, something is not right. And you realize, like, you got to have God. That's the only way. Because if you do it by yourself, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to be on the floor, out of breath, stressed out, hair falling out, but God, he is the way. He is the only way. He is the cure. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. Y'all know TikTok be trying to get you. Yep, battle tested. Yes. Thank you for the repost, subscription to success. Would I look forward to the table being prepared? I know that's right, Melly. Yes, that table being prepared, baby, because we gonna eat, and we gonna eat good, okay? We gonna eat good, okay? And they gonna have front row seats. Front row seats. All the people that doubted you, and it's been a long wait. It's been a very long wait, y'all. It has. We've been patient. We've been long suffering. Even with people that, a lot of us have been in situations where you don't have a choice but to be around certain people. It may be your job, you wherever you are, you may be in a situation where you don't have a choice, at the moment, because it may be something that pays the bills. It could be a lot of different situations financially, and so you've been in a place where you've had to be patient with certain people. You've had to sit there and deal with them. But God wanted you, that's the thing, his whole goal was for you to master it. For you to be able to master yourself, master your emotions, master your patience, master your meekness, even when you in a storm. Because I know it's a lot of times you probably was ready to fight back. You probably was ready to cuss somebody out, to give them a taste of your mind, your true, how you really feeling. But you get to a point where you sit in it for so long, you're like, it's not even worth it. I'm going to just pray for you. I pray that God changes your heart. But I'm going to just give it to God, and I'm going to let it be, and I'm going to continue to work on myself. Because that's the thing. A lot of times we put in situations to reflect on ourselves, and we have to ask ourselves, what is it that you need me to get from this, God? What is it that I'm supposed to get from this? Help me to see what it is that I need to see, to get what it is that I need to get out of this situation, so that I can move forward, so that I can be released. Okay. Because that's the thing. He is releasing us. He is delivering you. He ain't forgot about you. Yes. Queen Bahamada. Oh my gosh, I know I'm saying it wrong. I'm so sorry. And be a representative of Yah's kingdom in wilderness situations till time is up. Yep. We gotta still stand strong, even in the wilderness situations. We have to, because it don't feel good. It don't feel good when you in that isolation, when you in that secluded area, when you got to be alone, because it's like everybody else out there partying. But again, just know a lot of people are in this hour, or pretty soon they gonna be stepping into that wilderness season as well, and God just may use you. You never know how it's gonna work out. God can be delivering you, from your wilderness situation, but it's going to come a time where a lot of these people are going to reference you. They going to come to you seeking help, and of course we're going to point them to the source. We're going to get a glory to the Most High. Okay. Because our boast is in the Lord. Yes. Thank you for liking the live. Okay. So that's what I was saying. So what do you do while you waiting for the truth? We rest in the Lord. Okay. We rest in the Lord, and we wait patiently for him. We got to wait patiently. It ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. He testing our patience. Come on, God. Come on, God. Where you at? But for real, we just we got to be patient. We got to be patient in the Lord, and we got to know he going to do it. And like I said before, I think a lot of that too, God is like, he don't want fool's gold. He want the real deal. So a lot of times I feel like he will make us sit in it just to make sure we didn't got rid of all of that, whatever was in us internally, just to make sure that it's out of our system, and before he moves us forward. Okay. This is Isaiah 30 verse 15. It says, in quietness and confidence shall be your strength. Okay. So in quietness and confidence shall be your strength. Okay. So peace is power. Peace is power. You don't have to prove your side. Just know that, family. You don't have to prove your side. You don't have to defend every accusation. Because I know it probably was a time where you wanted to defend yourself. You wanted to try to clear your name, but God is going to clear it for you. He is clearing your name. He's going to vindicate you. You gotta believe that deep in your soul, deep in your heart, deep down under, you got to believe that, and you got to know it. And I'm telling you, that's what gives me peace. That's what gives me comfort. Because I'm like, I'm done. I'm done trying to prove myself. I'm done trying to explain myself to people. I'm going to let God do it. God, you said you're going to do it. You the big God. I'm going to let you do it. So I step back and I give it to him, and I just keep focusing on what I'm supposed to do. It's not easy, but you get to a point. Hey, Psalms 91, you get to a point where you like, God, I'm either going to stress myself out, worry myself to death, or I'm going to give it to you. And that's what you have to do. Okay. So you don't have to convince everyone. You don't have to carry the burden of exposure. Okay. So did y'all forget? Because so just understand this. This is Psalms 56 verse 8. Did y'all forget? Okay. Psalms 56 verse 8. It says, put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? So nothing you've cried about has gone unnoticed. He said, put thou my tears into thy bottle? Are they not in thy book? So your tears have, I mean, this is a cup, but we've been crying a lot, right? But just understand that your tears have literally gone into a bottle. And he's saying, do you not think that your tears are not in my book? D. Barry, what's going on? He's saying, do you not know that your tears, they're in my book? Okay? So again, nothing that you've cried about has gone unnoticed. Y'all saw the betrayal. He saw the loneliness. He saw the manipulation. He saw it all. Don't think he wasn't looking. I know a lot of times people did us wrong, okay? These groups, these covens, they did us dirty. And we just looking like, God, where you at? And that's the thing. Like, they will continue to torture you because they feel like, where your God at? Yeah, your God ain't coming. And so they will purposely still try to torture you, still try to say the little slick remarks and get away with stuff, and try to get away with stuff they know they ain't got no business doing to you or doing towards you, right? Okay, but Yah saw the nights that nobody knows about. Okay, he saw the prayers that nobody heard. He heard your prayers. Don't think it went unnoticed because you didn't see results the next day. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why it's saying my internet is unstable. Good afternoon, D. Barry. Psalms 91 says it was a learning lesson. My God in charge. Yes, he is. Yes. Prophet Jonathan says, you talking to me. So you so on point. Glory to the Most High. Look, glory. Glory. Okay. So the delay was never blindness. It was never blind. Don't think that God was blind to all the things that these people was doing, all the wicked intentions, all the wicked hearts that came up against you. Don't think God was blind to it. Okay. Because he had to allow this stuff to happen because it helped you to grow. It helped you to mature into who you're becoming. Okay, it helped you to align with the Most High because without that, how was he gonna push you forward? You know, a lot of us needed that pressure. Yeah, go ahead. A lot of us needed that pressure. A lot of us needed that exposure. And that's the thing. God is so good. He's so patient. He waited. He waited to make sure that we were strengthened. That we were strengthened enough before he began to expose this stuff to us. Because, you know, it was a point in time where we were fragile. You were fragile. You weren't ready to handle the stuff that he wanted to expose to you. Right? But now he's like, you've matured. You've been built up in the spirit. And now you like, dang, you just seeing stuff like, whoa, you too? You part of this too? I mean, they coming out everywhere, you know? It's like somebody then turned on the lights and the roaches is just coming. They running, you know, but ain't nowhere to hide. Ain't nowhere to hide this time. They can't hide. All right. So, this is Malachi. Oh, let me check the comments, y'all. Let me check the comments. I'm getting carried away. They have a time limit. The wicked need permission from God. Yep, they do. Yep, I needed that exposure. Facts. Yes, we all needed that exposure. You know, because that's the thing. If we didn't have that exposure, we would be taking people along with us that don't belong with us, that don't belong where we going, right? And they would sabotage it. They would destroy it. That's exactly what they would do. So God is like, no, I'm going to expose it. I'm going to expose it to the point to where you going to see this. You going to know you got to cut these people off. You got to let them go. Because if they go with you, they going to destroy it and destroy you too. They going to take you out. So pick a side, you know? So this is Malachi 3 verse 16. It says, and a book of remembrance was written before him. Okay, so Yah remembers what people forget. You know, he remembers your faithfulness. He remembers your patience. He remembers you getting back on your knees and going back to pray and cry to him in your closet behind closed doors. He remembers. Okay, he remembers your long suffering. He remembers your obedience. He remembers when you chose character over revenge, because how many times could you have chose revenge on these people? I mean, let's just be honest. It's a lot of times that you could have chose revenge, and you chose to keep your integrity, to hold on to something, to hold on to God, and to have your faith, even though it was as small as a mustard seed. You was like, I'm gonna have my faith in God, and who knew it was gonna turn into something like this, right? Who knew that he was gonna be preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies, like big, like doing it like this, like what? Who knew? We never knew it was gonna be this big, because it's always been bigger than us. But the way he doing it, he's so smooth with it. Like, man, you gotta give a man his credit. You gotta give a King of Glory his credit, because he's so smooth with it. Thank you for the rose, Psalms 91. He's so smooth with it. Okay, so some of you think you're waiting on exposure. But what you're really waiting on is vindication. What you're really waiting on is vindication. And Yah is often working on your vindication long before you see evidence of it. You're being vindicated. And a lot of times, Yah is so smooth with it. You may not know, you may not think nothing's happening, but he has a way of bringing it back to you. He has a way of bringing it back to you. Just so you heard just little bits and pieces of what's going on behind the curtain. I'm just being honest. So again, what's going on behind the curtain? I'm just being honest. So again, we're not supposed to laugh, or make mockery of these people when we do see that the Most High is dealing with them, because again, judgment is here. Repent. We pray that they find the Most High, because you had to go through your wilderness season, and now it's their turn. They got to go through it. And yet again, it's still another chance. It's still patience. It's still long suffering of the Most High to give them time to get it right, to give them another opportunity to get it right. And some of them are reprobate minds. They just done. They've already picked a side. Yes. Okay, so just know that the truth doesn't need backup. A lie has to be maintained. A lie has to be maintained, but truth just has to exist. And the truth is being exposed, y'all. It's coming. It's already here. It's being exposed. And I know a lot of you may feel better if you were to be able to have front row seats to what's happening to a lot of these people. But just know, like I said, God, he will make a way to where you hear stuff through the grapevine, and you be like, dang, what? Like, that's just how he works, So just know that. So the cover up is working harder than the truth. Okay? It's working harder than the truth, because now they don't have nowhere to go. Now everybody being exposed. The truth is coming out. They can't run. Who they gonna run to? Because they all being called out now. Okay? So envy creates stories that reality eventually destroys. Truth survives inspection. That's one thing about truth. It's gonna survive that inspection. And that's what's been happening. But it's too late. It's too late for your enemies, because their exposure is here. Okay? And Yah doesn't forget what people overlook. He doesn't forget. He did not forget you. Don't think that he forgot you. Don't think because all this time has gone on, all these years have gone by, that he's forgotten about you, because he hasn't. He had to give it time. He had to let it bake. Okay? Yes, the truth stands on its own. Period. It stands on its own. Okay? So just know that delay, it was not blindness. He's never been blind to it. But at the end of the day, you're going to be thanking him. You're going to be thanking him for your enemies, for those that did you wrong, because they pushed you, they pushing you into greatness. Okay? The best is yet to come. You walking into something that your forefathers that we have never seen before. Okay? You are the one that he chose to take this through. That's why you've had to deal with the spiritual warfare throughout your bloodline. Okay? Because this generation didn't want to deal with it. Generation before that didn't want to deal. They didn't want to deal with it. But Yah chose you because he knew that you would be strong enough to face it. And you be able to handle everything that they try to throw at you. Yes. Prophet Jonathan says it's like Judas' betrayal walked Jesus into destiny. Yes. Yes. If y'all wondering what's in my cup, it's lemonade. And I got some watermelon slices at the bottom. That's all. Hey, Milano. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Okay. So you got to keep growing, family. Keep growing. Keep healing. Keep becoming. Keep becoming, family, because it just know greatness is coming. Greatness is coming, okay? Do not let somebody else's choices stop your purpose. Do not let somebody else's deception change your character. Do not let somebody else's behavior make you forget who Yah says you are. Because you're more powerful than what you think. Why do you think all of these people had to come up against you? Little old you. At least that's how you think. Because you got purpose. Because you stand for something and you carry weight. You always had it. You always been it. And I say this humbly. You always had it. And they know that. You've always been a threat. Because they know even you've always been the one, a person of influence. You've always, just with your words, they know that you've always been that one that's wise with your words. You smooth with it, and it's real, it's genuine. It don't come from a fake space. You honest. And that's the thing. A lot of people, they live behind a facade. They not real. They faking it. And a lot of people out here, they stirred up chaos in your life when they were the ones trying to act like they was holy, that they was into God, and they weren't. They were trying to be you, but they weren't you. But they caused a lot of friction in your relationships. They caused a lot of chaos in your relationships. They wanted to cause division. But don't get it twisted. God is the one that allowed that division, because he says, I come to shake up your house, right? I come to turn those that are in your own home. Now, I'm not saying the exact words, y'all, don't quote me, but those of your own household become foes. I come to turn to turn the mother against the daughter against the daughter-in-law, the father against the father-in-law. So don't get it twisted. Don't think that Yah didn't have his hands on all of this, because it's beauty. It's beauty that's going to come from the ashes. That's what makes it so beautiful. That's what makes it so marvelous. That's what makes it a mystery. Because, see, they thought the damage was done. They didn't think you was going to recover from it. But you did, baby. You are. And you rising up out of them ashes as beauty. They wasn't expecting it. Glory. Glory to the Most High. Okay? So, because while you're worried about what isn't happening, Yah is already working behind the scenes on things you haven't seen yet. Okay? He is doing it. He is doing the big one. So the cover up needed a cover up, but truth never needed backup. Truth never needed backup. And it's here. Okay? It's coming. And they not ready for it, but they ain't got no choice but to get ready, because it's here, family. It's here. Thank you, Milano. I appreciate it. You know what? I was gonna share something. I don't even know if I could pull it up right now, but yeah, it's here, family, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you, God, he knows. The Most High knows what he's doing. He been in control the whole time. The devil was never in control. He was only allowed permission to do what he was doing. Okay. So we got to continue to walk in your purpose. I know you might be tired. There's somebody on here. I know you may be tired. You may be drifting off. You may have even gone in a slipper mode. But you got to get back up. And you got to know that God said he will be your strength. He's a man of his word. He can't go back on his word. He said he will strengthen you. So you got to go back. You got to go back to the source. You got to go back to that drawing board and just continue to go. And after a while, you're not even going to realize that you're walking. You gonna get out the walker. You gonna be walking. You gonna be floating. I'm telling you, God is gonna take you. Oh, why is my phone about to die though? Telling you, the devil is a lie. But you know, God is gonna take you where you need to go, family. I'm gonna charge that up. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna have to lift it. Okay, but yeah, you know, you just gotta go back to the source. God has not forgotten about you, and even when you humbling yourself and you going before Him, before the throne, He sees that, right? Prophet Jonathan says, Aaliyah, pick yourself up and try again. Yeah, you gotta pick yourself up and try again. Ain't that the truth? Hold on, y'all. TikTok is making me do this little puzzle. Because, you know, you're not the only one. Y'all not the only ones that struggle. I know I'm behind this screen on this cell phone, but I have my struggles too, daily, in and out, you know, as a mother. You know, I have 5 children. You know, now my oldest, she off in college, but still, I got 4 little ones, and they sometimes drive me up a wall. But, you know, God has given me strategy and wisdom as you know, so that I don't lose my mind, you know, but God will do it for you, you know. And sometimes I just have put on some gospel or put me on some music. Now I listen to gospel, but I like R&B gospel or like Christian rap gospel. Y'all know what I'm saying, you know, because I'm like, I do it. I still praise. You can still praise the Most High, you know. It don't have to always be slow music, or it could be upbeat. But thank you. Welcome in the one and only Blueprint. Thank you, Psalms 91. The fruit of long suffering will have you thinking He ain't even hearing you, but He preparing you. Yes, that is so true. It'll have you thinking, you know, you'll be crying like, God, where you at? Where you at? These people torturing me. I'm suffering down here. You know, I've been being patient. I've been doing what you told me to do. I've been reading His word. I ain't been going off on nobody. I've been controlling myself. You know, and you like, where you at? I'm just being honest. You know, we like, where you at? But he's watching. Okay, He sees it. And when He come through, He gonna be on time. He's always on time. That's one thing about the Most High. He don't play. He gonna come through, and He gonna come through on time. You gotta know that. You gotta hold your place. Hold your position. Don't let it slip away, because that's what the devil wants. If he can get a small entrance into your presence, into your life, into your realm, you know, he want to go in and try to complete the mission, which is to try to take you out. But you still standing strong because your foundation is built on the Most High. And that's what it's always been about. D. Berry said, Kingdom Boss. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for the rose, Psalms 91. But yeah, y'all, it's 2:32. I know I've been yapping. I've been talking a lot. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna get off of here, family. It's so good to see everyone. And I truly thank you guys so much for all of y'all love and support on my videos. And I know I probably haven't been on as often, because I know I was posting like 3 times a day. And sometimes you might see me post once or twice a day, but my videos are longer. But bear with me, y'all, because my kids, they out of school now. They out of school. They out of school now, family. And yeah, life has been life. And so I just got to get some things together and kind of get rebalanced, you know, and figure some things out. But I'm still here, you know. And I'm going to just, you know, ask God for strategy and strength to make it through. No, but yeah, I always appreciate all of y'all, family. I truly do. My royal family. We going to make it through this, family. We are. And I'm here to encourage you. We all here to encourage one another. You know, you got to continue your purpose on this earth. Continue to let your light shine, okay? Because continue to share your testimony, because people need to hear it, you know, and continue to endure, because God got something for you, okay? And it's in the making. He is vindicating you, okay? He's setting up a table in the presence of your enemy, okay? A whole buffet. We gonna eat good, okay? You know we like the 5-star Okay, 5-star or better. T Loud says, God bless you. Thanks for the word and encouragement. Hey, blessings to you as well, love. Queen, but okay, I'm not even gonna try. You are definitely being used by Yah. Hey, all glory to the Most High. And you know what? I had to say a prayer before I got on, because I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I know it may appear that I'm like, sometimes I'm nervous when I come on live, but I prayed and I was just like, you know what? Use me as you see, like, use me as a vessel, and let the words just come out of my mouth. And he truly has used me. So I'm thankful and I'm blessed, to be a part of it. I'm honored to be used as the Most High. And I just pray that this reaches someone, and encourages you to continue to move forward, in your journey with the Most High. Okay. So with that said, I love all of y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy y'all day. I'll be back Friday at 1 p.m. Look, I'm supposed to be at 1 p.m. Sometimes I slip up, it be 1:30, okay? But I'm gonna come somehow, some way. And I do pop-ups as well. So it's always good to see all of y'all on here. Thank you. Oh, I am Tuzel. I'm out of here, girl. It's good to see you though. All right, family. I'm out of here. Y'all be blessed. I'll talk to y'all later.